the whole manifested world goes to show us what use we have made of God's gift. Receiving a gift does not mean that we're going to use it wisely, but we have the gift, but we don't have the gift. And the world simply reflects the use of that gift. In The Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare puts these words into the mouth of Portia. If to do were as easy as to know what was good to do, chapels had been churches, and poor men's cottages princes' palaces. It is a good divine who follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what was good to be done than to be one of the 20 who follow my own teachings. And so you and I have been given a gift. To what use have we put it? In a book written in the 1st century, written at the time of our gospel, called the Hermetica. And this is a translation by Walter Scott. It's a wonderful series of 4 volumes. And in this he said, there are 2 gifts that God has given to man alone and to no other mortal people. And these 2 gifts are mind and speech. And the gifts of mind and speech are essential and identical with immortality. If they are used rightly, man will not differ in any respect from the immortal. And when he picks the body, these 2 will be his guides, and they will lead him into the truth of the gods and to the soul that have attained to bliss. Now, he's not speaking of any outer speech. Well, you and I have had this experience. I know I have many times. You've gone to a party, and many people you do not know, and you meet them, and the usual greeting, nice to know you. What a joy to know you. Pleased to meet you. And the usual cliches. And then you have drinks and your little orders, and then the party breaks up and we all separate. And you hear someone say, what a treat. What a bore. Yet it was so pleased to meet them. What a joy to know them. The outer world did not conform whatsoever with what they were really thinking on the inside. And God sees not the outer man. He sees the inner man. It's the inner speech that is frozen in the world round about us. This whole vast world is but frozen inner speech. What are we saying on the inside? We may think that someone really understands it, and you'll go along believing that they understand you. And one simple little thing happens, and you realize they never really heard you. Not for one moment had they really heard you. Some little disruption, and then the whole thing is over. And then they turn against you as though you were the devil, and they firmly thought that you were one who was sent. That is all in Scripture. Read the 7th chapter of the book of John, and the 8th chapter of John. And some said he's a good man. And others said, no, he is leading people astray. And others said, well, he's mad, and he has a devil. When he fed them with the loaves and the fish, oh, they loved it. Getting things in the world. And as long as they could have things and things and things, oh, he's marvelous. And then he tells them of something entirely different. that they will go through eternity, that the end will justify all the eternity through which they would pass. The end would be God. They would awaken the end, and they would awaken as God the Father. He didn't tell them of the nature of eternity. He told them only of the end, and that they would pass through eternity. And passing through, they thought it. They could tell exactly what they were really doing on the inside. As we are told in the 50th Psalm, if a man orders his conversations aright, I will show him the salvation of God. If one could only control these inner conversations, morning, noon, and night, and carry them right into the dream world, he would know what world he's creating. Stop for one moment and ask yourself, what am I thinking now? You're carrying on a little tiny inner speech at every moment of time. You may be in the presence of someone that the world thinks important, but you don't. And inwardly you're saying that only God hears it, what you're actually saying. Outwardly, you have ceased the meeting and you have chatted with the contact, but inwardly what are you saying? This is what I ask everyone to observe. Observe what you're actually doing on the inside, for that is what God sees. And what you're doing on the inside, you're doing in little tiny speech movements. And they're crystallizing in the manifested world round about you. So if to do were as easy as to know what was good to do, well, we all would be kings. We all would be everything we want to be in this world. But we find it more difficult to do it than to know what to do. And so I could tell you from now to the end of time, and only practice you will do it. Just practice. And when a man looks and he sees a building that seems beyond his wildest dream of ever acquiring, and he has reasons that he does not share with anyone but his mother. He's the only one who takes into his confidence. And she despairs because she knows that he could never achieve ownership of that building. It's too big, too far beyond his dreams or even ambition. But he loves her, and he shares only with her what he's doing. And he sees a sign implying that he does it. That as he looks at it, he could not read the sign and not inwardly repeat it. So inwardly he is saying, it is my building, as he reads his own name on that building. And day after day as he goes by, he reads his own name on the building, which implies that he has it. And then, out of the blue, 2 years later, they fail. And a stranger comes in and offers to put the money up to buy it. He has no collateral. At that day, he was owner of the building. And then conducted the most fantastically marvelous, successful business in that for many, many years. And then an offer came that offered him of many, many times more than he paid for it. He paid $50,000 for it of other person's money and sold it without any capital gain for $840,000. There was no capital gain. All by inner speech. For you could not read something without moving your lips. No one sees it. But I read something, and inwardly I am repeating what I'm reading. I saw that here on the bus a few months ago, going to Beverly Hills. And here's a man reading a paper. And every word he read, he was forming in his lips. I could watch him. Could I have actually interpreted the motion of his lips, I could have told you exactly what he was reading. For he formed everything. Everyone is doing that, but not as obvious as he did it. So you read something and inwardly you're actually repeating the words. But now if the thing is all in your imagination, that's all it was in his, only his imagination. That was God's gift. It's translated in the Hermetica as mind. And God has given to man and man alone 2 gifts, and to no other mortal creature. And the gifts are mind and speech. And these are like the gifts of immortality. And by these gifts, he does not differ in any respect from the immortals. And if he used them wisely, the whole world is his. For are we not told that the world was created by the Word of God? And things that are seen were made out of things that are not seen. So here out of the nowhere, we create by inner speech and the use of what, call it mind, if you will. I like the word imagination. To me, it inflames me, and I imagine a state, any state. If I can only persuade myself of the reality of the state imagined, that's the important thing. To believe in the reality of the state imagined. But to know what to do is not the same as doing it. So, if to do is as easy as to know what were good to do, for then chapels have been churches, and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. And how many teachers in the world follow their own instructions? And then he goes on to confess, I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than to be one of the 20 to follow my own teaching. So I tell you, I am telling you exactly what I know from experience, whether it be the law or the promise. But I am not telling you that everyone will apply it wisely. I am not telling you in the end there will not be a shakedown. And then there will be a separation of those who really believed it and those who only pretended to believe it. The many who came out of a traditional background, they'll return to it, and they will genuflect before a handmade cross, a handmade figure that hangs on the wall, and cross themselves for good luck, and think that the speaker who taught them in the beginning has turned into a devil. They will. Then I rejoice because these signs must come. It's part of Scripture. And when they come into my world, I rejoice because the end is on them. Just when they come, and they will come, and it gets thinner and thinner as they separate, moving back because they cannot go forward into the top, unto the high places of the mountain. And then you'll exactly who understood you and who did not understand you. Let me now make it quite clear. You have the gift. You can speak. Even if you are dumb, you can still speak. Inwardly you speak. And you form these little speech movements within yourself. Make them conform to your wish fulfilled. Do what Robert Millikan did when he was a poor boy and had nothing but a brilliant mind, a great, great understanding of literature, but he had no money and he was tired of his poverty. And knowing how the mind works, he constructed a sentence, if true, would imply he was no longer poor. And his sentence is a beautiful sentence. I have, not going to have, I have a lavish, steady, dependable income, consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. That was the great Robert Millikan, who was the head of Caltech, who gave us his discovery of cosmic rays. who when he died could leave a fortune behind to his charity. I know that the YMCA was one of them and got a fortune from him. He had already settled on his sons and made them financially independent. But he had enough left over to give to his favorite charities and lived a full, wonderful, marvelous life, where everyone who met him benefited by the actual meeting with the great man. And he started off from scratch using this simple technique, using the gift of God that God gave to every person in this world. Mind and speech, whether you be a Frenchman or an American or any other nationality, you have speech and you have a mind. Instead of accepting what you've already done with that gift, you simply ignore it. You brought it into being. All this is solidified speech, the whole vast manifested world. Now you turn from it and then reconstruct the sentence, change it. As this one of whom I spoke changed the entire pattern. He was a poor boy, the whole family poor, behind the eight ball financially, socially, in every sense of the word, behind that eight ball. And he constructed a scene. And as he read the so-called letters, which implied that the family owned the building, he was repeating within himself as he read it. And it took 2 years. He persisted. At the end of 2 years, the family owned it. And from then on, you couldn't stop them. And they're still growing and expanding and expanding and expanding, because he never forgot how to apply the principle. But he was one among those that didn't come within it. He found it just as easy to do it as to know what to do. And others can find it easy to know what to do, but difficult to do it. I've seen it time and time again. But I would say to them, do you not know what you're doing to yourself? Yes, but just give me one little moment, because I'm so enjoying the feeling of getting even with them, getting even with no one. There is no one else in the world. As you are told, I am the Lord, and beside me there is no God. Read it in the 45th chapter of the book of Isaiah. I am the Lord, and beside me there is no God. Now you want the word, he said? The word is very near unto you. It is in your mouth and in your heart that you can do it. See, I set before you this day life and good, blessings and curse, death and evil. Choose life, that you and your descendants may live. But the whole thing is before you. You can choose death if you want it, because the word is in your tongue. It is on your mouth. It is in your heart, and you can do it now. You don't have to ask who will go up to heaven and bring it down for me, or go into the depths and bring it up for me. It is now, nearer than you know. It's in your mouth and in your heart that you can do it now. But what would you do now? What sentence would imply that you are now what you would like to be? You know what to do. What I say is not knowing what to do, it's the doing it. Someone got this most marvelous revelation. I was there the morning that it happened. Stop spending your thoughts, your time, and your money. Everything in life must be an investment. And I so loved it, I incorporated that thought in the chapter, The Coin of Heaven, in my book, Awakened Imagination. And she would be the first to confess, although it came through her, and it was her revelation from God to her, shared with me, and I shared it through the written form with those who read it in the book. But she's the first to confess she never applied it. There it is, but she never applied it. She was thrilled beyond measure. She was the medium through which the voice could come. And I can see her now rushing to the library and taking out the dictionary to get the true definition of the two words, spending and investing. To spend is to put out without hope of return, to waste. To invest is expecting a return on your equity. There must be a return on equity when you invest. Well, you're told, stop spending your thoughts, your time, and your money. Time must produce some return. It is precious. Your thought is speech. It must be actually invested, not wasted. And your money. Everything must be invested and not wasted. And she is the first to confess, I knew I never really applied it. I thought, well, now it came through, and I could go on the normal way, but it doesn't work that way. If to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, what a marvelous sentence. You'll find it if you have the works of Shakespeare. Is in the first act, the second scene, put on the lips of the character Portia. And how difficult for a man who teaches to follow his own instruction. And he himself confessed, I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than to be one of the 20 to follow my own teaching. So I ask you to really apply it. Don't think for 1 second knowing what to do is going to do anything for you. It's the doing it that matters. So if every moment of time you know what to do, then do it.